The Windy City is shaking to its core right now, and if these reports are true, the roster we know is about to be blown wide open. We are talking about a total deconstruction of the veteran core, starting with the one name we thought was untouchable, DJ Moore. Is the chemistry in that locker room actually fractured beyond repair, or is this the most cold-blooded salary cap move in the history of this franchise? Before we break down this absolute bombshell and the shocking trade value leaked for Tyson Bagent, do me a massive favor. Hit that like button, share this with a fellow fan who needs to hear this, and subscribe so you never miss a minute of the action. Let's get straight into the fire because The Athletic just dropped a notebook dump from the NFL Combine that should have every single person watching this on high alert. General Manager Ryan Poles has reportedly made zero promises to DJ Moore. Read between the lines, people. Uncertainty is the word being used for Moore's future in Chicago beyond this spring. This isn't just a maybe anymore. The signal is loud and clear. At 20 years old, our star receiver is officially on the trade block. How did we get here? How do you even consider moving a guy with his intelligence, his versatility, and that underrated durability that has kept this offense afloat? He's a leader. He's the heartbeat of that locker room. But the reality of the NFL is a cold, hard business, and the Bears are staring down a salary cap puzzle that requires a surgeon's touch. We are talking about a massive financial crossroads. Let's be real with each other, fan to fan. Is DJ Moore still a true number one receiver in this league? When he first touched down in Chicago, there was no doubt. He was the guy. He was getting force-fed targets because there was nobody else. But look at the landscape now. With Rome Odunze and the way this team has started spreading the ball around, the volume just isn't there anymore. We saw the emergence of Luther Burden. We saw the tight ends becoming massive factors in the red zone. This isn't about DJ Moore, sucking, far from it. He's a high-end talent who could be a WR1 for a handful of teams and a lethal WR2 for almost anyone else. But does he fit a roster where he's potentially the third option? Does a third option deserve $28.5 million? That is the nightmare question Ryan Poles has to answer. If you move him, you save $16.5 million in cold, hard cash. That is money you can use to fix the defensive line or snag a high-end edge rusher. The days of Moore posting 1,100-yard seasons in this specific offense might be over simply because there are too many mouths to feed. Now, here is the part that is going to make your blood boil. There are whispers coming out of the combine from opposing coaches who have been grinding the tape. They are saying the connection between Caleb Williams and DJ Moore is, well, it's not there. Question of the day, this is the big one, and I want to see the comments section exploding. What would you do with DJ Moore? Type T for trade if you want that cap space, or type K for keep if you think trading him is a massive mistake. Let's hear it. I'm leaning toward the trade. If you can get a solid fourth-round pick and clear that massive cap hit, you take the exit ramp while you still can. It's nothing personal, it's just about building a winner. But wait, the trade talk doesn't stop at the wide receiver room. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Tyson Bagent. His trade value might have just been leaked, and the number is absolutely staggering. Word on the street is that Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson are so high on Bagent that they wouldn't even pick up the phone for anything less than a second-round pick. A second-rounder for a backup. That sounds insane on the surface, but think about the logic. He's cheap, he's young, and he's a proven quality backup in a league where quarterbacks are dropping like flies. However, let's be realistic. Is any team actually giving up a second-round pick for him? Probably not. The sweet spot is likely the fourth round. But here is the dilemma. If a team offers a high third-round pick, a top 75 selection, do you pull the trigger? Next year's draft is going to be flooded with quarterback talent. The supply and demand won't be in our favor like it is right now. This year, the draft is thin. Outside of Fernando Mendoza, there aren't many guys teams trust to play immediately. Ty Simpson might have the hype, but he lacks the starts. Bagent's value will literally never be higher than it is right this second. Unless Caleb Williams gets hurt, and let's knock on every piece of wood in the building that doesn't happen, Bagent is at his peak value. If a top 75 pick is on the table, it's almost impossible to turn that down when you have so many other holes to plug on this roster. Would you trade Bagent for a third-round pick? It's a gray area because a reliable backup is worth his weight in gold, but a high third-rounder is a potential starter at a position of need. Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments right now. Finally, we have to look at the blind side. The rumor mill is spinning with the idea of Braxton Jones returning to Chicago as a cheap bridge option at left tackle. This one feels like a step backward to me. We're talking about a guy the coaching staff decided wasn't the best option just a month into last season. Why would that change now? The argument for Jones is that he's affordable, maybe $4 or $5 million, and he knows the system. He's a great locker room guy. But we know his ceiling. He struggles to anchor against the big, bully pass rushers of the NFL. If he couldn't do it in his first 3 years, is he suddenly going to find that strength now? Theo Benedict already gives you what Jones offers: solid run blocking but questionable pass protection. If the market dries up and we're 3 days into free agency with no left tackle, sure, bring him back as a fallback. But does that move inspire anyone? Does that scream Super Bowl contender? No. It feels like settling. We don't even know when we'll see Aussie back on the field or what he'll look like after that injury. I'd much rather see the Bears aggressive in the draft or looking at a fresh face in free agency. We've seen the Braxton Jones show, and while he's a serviceable player, he isn't the long-term answer for protecting the blind side of our franchise cornerstone. This offseason is about to be a gauntlet of tough love decisions. Ryan Poles said it himself: once you get good, the choices get harder because you grow attached to these players. But emotions don't win rings. Whether it's moving on from a fan favorite like DJ Moore, cashing in on Bagent's peak value, or finding a real solution at left tackle, the Bears are at a turning point. The win now window is officially open, and if that means clearing the deck of expensive veterans to build a more balanced, dangerous roster around Caleb Williams and the vision of Ben Johnson, then that's the path we have to take. It's a wild time to be a fan, and the next few weeks are going to define the next 5 years of Chicago football. Stay tuned, keep the conversation going in the comments, and as always, bear down.